This morning we had a caller to the morning politics and right show on KPFT 90.1 FM call in to talk about Donald Trump's coin and crypto, etc., and how fraudulent it is. I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side because it's real. Hi, come on in.
Good morning, Egberto.
Good morning, my brother.
With a White House type of scenario, it's trillions and trillions of dollars. They're not going to pay off the national deficit at all. They're going to increase the national deficit, and then they're going to have these other ridiculous things like a sovereign fund that they can just take money out of any time they want to do anything with. So
we actually have a mission. So we're doing something with it. Donald Trump, over the time that he's been president, he spent $1.2 billion. Listen to me, folks. This is billions. $1.2 billion to golf.
Or like what they spent on going to the Super Bowl for half a game. But the fact is that the amount of money between a sovereign fund in the White House and the cryptocurrency pool, the amount of money is staggering. It's beyond the money that any of us could ever dream of. It's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars.
Why did you do this to me? Tag, why did you do this to me? Tag brought up an important subject. What our audience at large has to do in the body politic is so important. He spoke about the Trump coin and he spoke about crypto. A lot of these things are done the way they're done because to many people it is confusing. But let me tell you what we have in our government right now at the head. The opportunity to sell you out in this country is so large. There are three aspects right now that are huge. The coin, the Trump coin, you having us have a crypto reserve funded by you as well as Truth Social. These are three ways in which Trump and all the people he in his rich base, and I don't use this lightly, this is how they rape the American people. And I don't use that word lightly. Anybody who needs a favor from Donald Trump simply needs to go out there into the markets and buy a coin for however many millions of dollars they want to pay for that coin. And it goes past Congress. It goes past any office that checks for integrity, because that money doesn't appear in the United States. Any money buying a Trump coin appears overseas in sort of an anonymous account. Anybody who buys a Truth Social stock, a DJI stock, that money doesn't show up as donations to Trump, but he knows that somebody bought that stock to keep that stock price high. It's another way of selling. And the ability to have the United States backstop crypto, which, as we explained before, is money that has no value because it's not backed by the United States. It's backed by a computer algorithm on the blockchain. You don't have to understand what I just said about computer algorithm on the blockchain. Just suffice it to say it's imaginary. We are ceding our freedom. We're ceding our capital. And most people don't know about it. If you listen to what Johnny had to say, when Johnny comes and he said, I heard them say on NPR that Trump is making an investment. My brothers, do you know how many people consider NPR the alternative news and they are going to look for some? And I love NPR. But my God, we have to be truthful to the American population. And a lot of these things, ABC, CBS, NBC are not touching, because if they go ahead and touch this subject, they're scared that their FCC license are withdrawn. Now, you see how I answered what he had to say, but let me tell you something, folks. This is a very corrupt system, and I want you to hear a piece by Chris Hayes last night, and then we'll take it on the other side.
There's been an abundance of corruption, basically unlike anything we have ever seen before in just the first 6 weeks of the new Trump administration, which Connecticut Democratic Senator Chris Murphy has been sounding the alarm on. Today, he took the Senate floor to highlight examples, starting with the insane bribery vector that is the Trump crypto meme coin.
On January 17th, Trump launches the meme coin. This is maybe the most corrupt of all the acts, because what is the meme coin? The meme coin is essentially a mechanism by which Russian oligarchs or corporate CEOs can literally send money privately directly to Donald Trump. Nobody knows who buys the meme coin, but Trump makes money when people buy it. And so it is just an open sewer valve that allows for anybody who is trying to influence the Trump administration to be able to secretly funnel money to Donald Trump. This is essentially Trump just posting his Venmo for anybody secretly to wire him as much money as they want.
Senator Chris Murphy joins me now. Senator, I really appreciated this speech because I have been going around telling people about this obsessively. We did a podcast on it, and everyone's jaw sort of hits the ground when you can take the time to explain. I thought the Venmo metaphor was very good because that is essentially what it is.
Yeah, it's actually not that complicated. I think a lot of people don't want to interact with this issue because they think that crypto is just beyond their understanding. But this one's not hard, right? Trump is selling an asset that has absolutely no value, but it makes him a lot of money. And all of the money that comes in is anonymous. It's purely secret. And so it could be a Russian oligarch. It could be a Saudi prince. It could be a corporate CEO. Nobody knows who is sending Trump money. They're sending him literally hundreds of millions of dollars through various means by which he makes money off of the coin. And of course, they are whispering in his ear, hey, Mr. President, by the way, I just made you a whole bunch of money on that coin. And oh, by the way, I've got a small little regulatory issue at the SEC. Could you take care of it? And also, by the way, Chris, he takes the money out. He gets cashed out in the secret exchanges in China.
Yes.
Like, that's the place where the drug dealers take their money out. He doesn't go through the legitimate exchanges. He goes through the secret exchanges, which tells you, with blinking red lights, that there's something massively wrong, that he's trying to hide who's paying him or who's getting paid.
And your point about the SEC is apt because this is not actually theoretical. So he's launched 2 different meme coins. There was one last year and there was one this year, the day before he's inaugurated. The last one, $30 million of that was purchased by a Chinese crypto entrepreneur named Justin Sun. From that one. Sun's purchase resulted in a cash windfall for Trump. Last week, the Securities and Exchange Commission and Sun sent a joint letter to a federal judge asking for a stay of Sun's pending SEC case. And last week, the judge granted the SEC's request, meaning this guy had an SEC investigation of him. He bought $30 million of Trump's meme coin. He sent a letter to the SEC being, can you drop it? And they dropped it.
Chris, their theory of the case here, maybe they're not wrong, is that if they just do the corruption out in the open and they're totally unapologetic about it, that it'll con people into believing that it's all normal and that this stuff used to happen behind closed doors. And the only difference is that now that it happens out in the open, this stuff didn't happen before. I mean, we just found out yesterday, I think, that Trump is selling for $5 million private audiences with him at Mar-a-Lago to corporate CEOs. You'd be run out of town on a rail if you were a mayor selling audiences at City Hall for $1,000, never mind $5 million. It is just crazy to me that any single instance that we have seen over the last 6 months isn't in and of itself disqualifying.
So here's the reality, folks. Crypto is nothing but a scam. All this digital currency that you see out there, it's all a scam, and it'll just stay alive as long as people believe in it. But if you notice, it crashes and burns, it comes back, it crashes and burns, because it constantly depends on the gullibility of those. It's a pump and dump operation, like another caller called in about, actually Patrick called in about. But here's the deal. We have to stop being gullible to an economic system that preys on either those without capital or preys on those without intellectual capital, which is what we are hoping to do all through. Create not only a real moral capital, but intellectual capital, so that we don't fall for the crap that is being placed on this current economic system that is designed to screw us all.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.